Hi guys, this is Investment Trading Mecca. I'm going to be reviewing some trading strategies that I've tried in the past. I no longer actually do trade this strategy. I trade a different one, but I still do see a lot of people that trade it. I have friends that still trade it, and I think it's a valuable strategy. There was just some cons to it that I didn't like, and I found better ways to trade. But I'm going to be trying to do a review on tons of strategies. So if you guys want me to review any of the strategies you guys want to know more about or that you personally trade, if you want to hear my opinion on them, just leave it in down in the comments and I will review the strategy. There's a strong possibility that I probably traded it before. As you know, in trading, you try many things till you find your niche. So subscribe, guys, like the video, comment, and I hope you enjoy the strategy we're going to be going over today. Also, if I didn't say it already, I'm going to be reviewing tons of strategies, so I probably will put this in a playlist so that you guys can watch it back. And I do sell my own strategy, but that's besides the point. If you guys want to learn more about that, it'll be in the bio. You can click on the link, it'll be right there. Also, so let's get right into it. The strategy I'm going to be reviewing today, many of you have probably done this strategy before. You probably still trade it. You might trade it. A lot of people look into it. So what we're going to be looking at is just daily levels, highs and lows, pretty much previous day highs, previous day lows. That is going to be the strategy we're looking at. So trading off of those levels, either you could trade the break of them and the retest, or you could trade just if shorting into highs, buying into the lows. So an example of this strategy, as you can see, let's see right here, as you can see it, this one's pretty clean. We open above it, we break it, we retest it. That would be a decent trade. And this will be more of like a back testing session. I feel like that's just kind of how I'm going to go about these videos, just going through action. I'm on a 15-minute chart. This is on SPY, just so you guys can see it. So again, 15-minute chart on SPY. I think all of these strategies I'm going to be reviewing on this chart. So hopefully, and I can make it quick and easy for you guys. I want it to be just this to be some nice, easy content for you guys to consume. So as you can see, the highs on this day, the lows on this day. In the highs, we test it, we fail. That would be considered a decent trade. You see the lows on this days. We open it, we close, we rip, we test it again, just keep bouncing around the area, we break below. I'm just trying to, this one had none. This one right here, as you can see, we break above it. I mean, I think the way to trade this strategy, because it would be hard to know, I think the issue I had with it was when do I know when to short against highs or wait for the break and retest. I mean, I think that's why it did get confusing. And trading is very discretion based, so you kind of have to figure out your own flow, how the chart's looking. That's how you kind of would determine it. But I think that was one of the harder things for me when I first learned this strategy, was how do I know when to short against highs and wait for the break and retest. I mean, sometimes you'll short against it, it'll fail, and then you wait for the retest, it fails. It's two stop outs. So it's kind of hard. Sometimes you don't really know. I think a good thing I learned later on was, if I'm looking at the 15-minute right now, if you wait for the candle to close and then on the next candle you buy in, so if it's over, if it closes above, then you kind of know, hey, I could buy in immediately and your risk is really tight. And that's a good sense. As you can see, if you waited over here, you're kind of waiting for a candle to close right at the level. And it'll show you, because right here, as you can see, it closed under the level. You know, okay, that's not something I want to buy the dip on per se if you're going long. So I think that's a good way to kind of see, yeah, I'm going to trade the fail of lows, or I'm going to long previous day lows, or I'm going to wait for the break and retest and short. I think that's a good way, in my eyes, to trade against it, because otherwise it's a little bit hard. I mean, I guess you eventually develop your own criteria, but in my eyes, it's a little hard to know when to. You can't predict it, obviously. Like right here, here's the highs of this day, here's the lows, obviously. You know, we get right to it. You could short into it, but it wouldn't have worked. This trade wouldn't have worked. As you see, it goes above. So it's kind of hard to tell sometimes where. And some days it works really well. I mean, here doesn't work, but I guess this one was completely out of the range. So I mean, that one did not work though. But here's another one right here. Yeah, you could get a long off in the morning. Once it breaks, you get the retest into it, and it fails. Here's one right here on. See, on this day, it breaks it, goes under, retest. Obviously, kind of would have probably stopped you out. Risk kind of tight, but it breaks it again. Retest it, fails. Here is another one. Sorry, guys, if it's kind of going slow, but here's another one. You know, you break it, you retest it, you go. Here's another one. Obviously, in the morning, you already broke it, you retest it, you go. This one, you close above it. This one's close, not close enough. I mean, you could probably maybe get on it, but it broke it. But we also failed it in the morning, as you can see right here. And I think that's why this strategy is harder, because how do you know? As you can see right here, we failed it, we get under it, we fail. We're above it, obviously would have failed. I mean, yeah, you could short it, but how do you know it gets back under it? We fail. So I think that's the biggest problem with this strategy, is how do you know? You know, how do you know when to short, when to long? Obviously, yeah, you're saying in that level, but how do you know when it's going to be a break and retest and when it's just going to reject immediately? I mean, you can wait for the close, like how I said. As you can see, the candle closes above. You bounce right off of it. But it is just a harder strategy to trade, I think. I think it is something to look into if you guys can really develop a system on it. I mean, as you can see, it rejects immediately, fails. But you have to learn when to take it for the reject and when to take it for the retest. As you can see, it closes above, retest, it goes. So as you can see, this one, we reclaim it, we close back under, fails, and also the lows, it just bounces off the lows. But it's kind of a harder strategy in my eyes. I think how do you know when to trade it is one of the harder things. That's why I think me personally, I developed a system similar to it, but it has more just criteria around it. You know, it's based around if the following day, if it closes higher, I want to trade off that level. If it closes lower, I don't want to trade off that level. And just a quick little tad bit of knowledge right here. I will go into it right here. These supply some. So here's the lows, obviously, of the days. You know, we break below it, we get the retest right here, we fail. We get the retest right here, we fail. That's kind of how I more or less trade the levels in my eyes. I think it's a lot easier to trade them that way when you kind of develop a criteria. As you can see, okay, we close lower, now I want to trade off the lows. I think it's a lot easier to trade that way. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't always work. It's not a foolproof strategy. It's nothing in the market is 100%, but it's a decent, and it works both ways. I mean, look, I mean, you can see here, we close above this next day, barely. We open under it. When we get the retest into it, we fail. Here's another one. We close. This one's a little wishy-washy, that one right there, honestly. That's probably not the greatest example. And that as you can see right here, this one, it closed over right here. We close over the next day. We open into it. The only issue is we open a little bit under it, so you could have technically shorted into it. So kind of not the greatest example, but it's there. Obviously, I'm just trying to show you guys how these trades work. As you can see right here, the highs, we break above it, we get it right here, the bounce into it, and you get the bounce into it. So all the trades are different. I mean, here you go. How do we know to trade? Right here, the highs of the day, we break above, perfect wick test into it. I'm pretty sure we probably tested. We might blow through that level. Yeah, we just blow through the level, as you can see over here. But I think it's a good strategy to learn, because there are profits to be had on it. As you can see right here, highs of this day, we break, then we get the little test right here. I think that those are good trades. That's just like a little criteria that I've developed that like lets me know when to trade the level and when not to trade the level, because it is hard just blindly shorting into resistance, or blindly shorting into highs, or blindly buying into lows of previous days. You kind of have to have more of a system, in my eyes, more of a criteria. That's just a little criteria that I have. If you guys want to learn more, click the link in the bio or underneath in the description. I have a link to my course. If you guys want to learn more about it, just click on it, and hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Also comment if you guys want to learn other strategies. Thank you. Bye.